Hello, hello, check. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back one more time to little fireside chats with Nicodemus Kane. Hey, how's everybody doing? Um, for anyone that's never seen one of these or doesn't know what the heck this is, I come in here and we just talk off the cuff. Usually just stuff that I have been researching over the past couple weeks or something I've been reading. Mostly Bible related, sometimes Bible prophecy related, sometimes conspiracy related. Will I get tagged on YouTube for even saying that word? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, we come in here and we just spend some time just talking about stuff. Normally I don't have visuals or anything because I don't really have time to be able to look things up. I'm a very busy man. I have a life. I can't just do this full time. It is what it is. So we just talk. We just have a talk. I'm just trying to figure out the truth of the world. It seems to me that we have been fed a lie. A lot of lies, actually. It's more than likely that we have been fed lies constantly through our entire life. We don't. I don't even know if anything is true anymore, to be honest with you. And that's just the way I see it. And I start most of these off by saying that you don't have to believe what I believe. You just, look it up for yourself. Look at it for yourself. See, make up your own mind. Make up your own decisions. But I guess I should start out saying that it is August the 4th of 2019. It is 7:50 in the morning. And my nose is getting a little stopped up because I've had to completely rearrange my workspace down here, my living area, I guess you could say, my man cave, whatever. Is it even politically correct to say man cave anymore? But I've had to completely rearrange it because we have a contractor coming in to look at it because it's been flooding. So I'm having to tear everything out. Everything is boxes. It's all a mess. It's an absolute mess right now. But for anyone that understands what that date is, we had a couple of events yesterday. I can't. I don't even know if I should call them. I mean, they were shootings. Let's just put it that way. One of them in Texas, and apparently we had one in Dayton last night. I don't know. I don't know too much about the one that happened in Dayton. I'll have to look into that, see what that is. But it's interesting. It's just interesting that this is kind of coming out now. That it's happening all at once. We had two in a row. Sorry, I have to do it. It is what it is. My like I said, I have dust everywhere right now. It's not pretty. But I didn't want to come in here and talk about that. I wanted to come in here and talk about something else, but I feel that I have to say something about this. It's right there in your face, isn't it? It just seems like the world kind of imploded for a second, and it's making a lot of people say a lot of things. Um, and I understand both sides of it. I really do. I understand why people would want to automatically take every single gun away. I used to think the same thing. If nobody had guns, then hey, we wouldn't have to worry about it. On that same token, though, if nobody had guns, then the people that had the guns would have all the power, right? And if you make something illegal, only the only the people breaking the law would have them. So it's a very tricky slope. It's a very very tricky slope. I hate having to do that on camera, but it is what it is. So we have to we have to be very careful what we look at now. Not only that, but the people that committed these crimes. The first thing I heard about the one in Texas was that he was on 4chan and 8chan, which, if you don't know, is kind of like the last of the wild, wild west forums of the internet. And he was anti-immigrant. I don't know what that means. I really don't. Apparently, he said some things. I'm sure they're going to find some way to roll this back on conspiracy theorists. I'm sure. Um, but it's like two birds with one stone on this one. Last week they put out a thing. The FBI put out a thing saying that conspiracy theorists are to be considered the new terrorists. For a couple months now, they've been saying that conspiracy theorists are mentally challenged, that they have a problem. Going so far as to say something I heard, that even saying the term conspiracy theorist could be manipulating your brain to think a certain way. No, honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not here trying to manipulate anybody. I don't think that I'm I definitely don't think I'm crazy for trying to just just trying to find the truth, because I think that there is something we're being lied about. I just want the truth. It just seems like there's a lot of things in this world right now that we're kind of waking up to, that it's just like, that doesn't seem right. There's a lot of things that just don't seem right. I mean, we talk about giants and Nephilim, and we talk about the way that the world was made, and the possible shape of the earth. I always claim that, I don't know anything. I'm trying to find out what it is, because there are just some things that just don't make sense whenever you stop and think about it. And it's strange that we haven't stopped and thought about that. We've just kind of let it go. We just kind of let it happen. That it's just kind of like, no, whatever. This has been like this has been like that. But something has happened for the past 9 years where people have just kind of stopped and started saying, well, why is it like this? Why is that like that? Why can't, certain things happen this way and certain things happen that way? And more people are kind of opening their eyes to this. And the more that people open their eyes to it, it just seems like the more there is a pushback to that suppress that understanding, to suppress that reasoning. Like, somebody just doesn't want us to be talking. It's very weird. It's just very strange. So I don't know. I just use that term conspiracy theorist so broadly for anyone that questions anything, and it's like, no, we just want the truth. And if the truth turns out to be what it's been all along, then hey, I'm fine with that. I'll just go back to my life, whatever. But the more questions that people pose, the less answers we seem to get. The Instead of getting answers, what we get is pushback. What we get is oh, you're just crazy. Don't worry about it. Go back to sleep. And that just adds fuel to the fire. Why would you want to add fuel to the fire? Seriously, it just doesn't make any sense. But that's where we're at right now. And I kind of I kind of see where this is going. I'll be honest, I don't even know if I'll be able to make these kind of videos anymore. I started making these videos because I just needed to sit down and talk about this stuff. It started out with me reading the Bible, reading the Book of Enoch, reading all these other things, and just trying and seeing that it translates out into the real world. And I'm just trying to put it all together. That's how this started, but this has evolved now. This has evolved into other things. We've pushed past the point of no return here, and I don't know if it's doing anything or anybody any good. The one thing that I wanted to do with these is I just wanted to see if somebody else could see it, because my eyes were opened, and the way my eyes were open was I just sat down and I just watched somebody's YouTube videos, and I've become a better person because of it. You can think I'm crazy and stupid and insane for wanting to believe in a God, or thinking that all of this stuff is, thinking that all of this is just just a giant conspiracy, I guess. But my life has been so fulfilled because of it, and you can't take that away from me. You cannot take my independent thought away from me. It is what it is. But I'm seeing the broader picture now. I'm seeing it unfold in front of us, and it's really scary. It's really scary. There's a level of freedom that we cannot allow those in power to take away from us. And it's mind-boggling that people just can't see that. It is a programming. Absolutely, it is a programming. It's whether you want to believe it or not. You tell somebody something long enough, they're going to believe it. So I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's a very scary thought. I was planning on coming down here, making a video about the Antichrist, but then I got on Twitter and I heard about the second shooting, and it's just I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know. People say you're heartless for telling people to look into it. I've heard that before, and I've actually had that said to my face, that I'm just heartless for not, for even considering the possibility that there could be an agenda behind it. And I'm not heartless. I just want to seek the truth. When when the first thing that happens is you hear about something like this, and then you turn around and you hear that eyewitnesses are saying something different than what the mainstream narrative is, you have to question something. And it seems to happen all the time. The fact that as soon as it happened, they had somebody to blame. They had an ideal to blame. The fact that it's becoming so politicized, and there's a lot of people waking up to the politics of it. They're saying, look, let's not put the politics into it. A lot of people died, and we should focus on the people dying instead of the politics. I agree with that. I don't think this should be about oh, let's look at what this guy's ideals were. Let's automatically blame the gun. No, I don't buy into that. I think that we should we should first mourn what happened, if anything happened, and then we can look into what caused this person to do it. Why? I mean, if he had an agenda, then you know that was his agenda, not everybody's agenda. I lost my lighting. There we go. Jeez. It's not everybody's agenda. You can't blanket control everybody just based upon one guy. It just that's I think that's the other biggest problem with this whole thing is that it's become this blanket band-aid. You use one gun for one thing, so it's take all the guns everywhere. There's one guy that causes one thing and just happen to be part of a group of conspiracy theorists on the internet, and so we have to take away all conspiracies. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. And of course, everybody can say, "Well, no, we've had multiple guys that have been multiple conspiracy." Do I seem like a danger? Am I a danger? I just want the truth. That's all I want. Is it so much to ask for the truth? Is it so much to want to just live in peace, live my life, have the truth, at least have the understanding of what this world really is and what's going on? You can think what you want, and you can think what you want about me. You might not be able to think about it at all because this video might be pulled just for the keywords that I'm saying. Think about that for a second. Think about the computer algorithm that's pulling down videos just based upon what we are saying inside the videos. That's censorship. I don't understand why people can't see that. That's censorship of the highest order. And people don't see that. They don't understand that there's people that want that. That blows my mind. There's people that want the censorship because they don't want us talking about this stuff. And it's like, well, wait a minute. That's somebody else telling you what you don't want. You have to make up your own mind about these things. You can't let them control you like this. And it's control. It's all about control. It's always been about control. If they can control you, they can control the world. And once they control you, they can do whatever they want to with you. You may think it's all lollipops and good times now, but whether the whole thing about Nazi Germany was true or not, think about what they went through. Oh, it'll be okay. We're just going to start this new. We're just going to start this new thing. But the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure we take all your guns away from you, and then we need to take some of your freedoms away. And the next thing you know, you're inside of concentration camps. I've already said way too many keywords. This video, this might be my first video I get pulled. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. That would tell me I'm on the right track at least. So, anyways, man, I have so much to say about it, but I just. It's too much. It's not what I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about something else over the past week that was not this. And I get my notes out here. And this has kind of put like a half-ass damper on what I was thinking. My thought process on this whole deal is kind of gone way out of whack. Especially yesterday too, having to start cleaning up a lot of this room, and I may not be able to record anything for a couple weeks. I don't know, because I don't know what this guy is going to want me to do. You have to understand that this is all paneling, and he's going to have to get behind this paneling to be able to look at the walls. But I have stuff that's on the paneling on the walls, like shelves and stuff that I don't want to take down because they're kind of screwed in there. They're really in there. But if he has to take those down and take the paneling down, that's going to be a week at least. If I'm going to take all this shit down, I might as well just move. What's the point? I've already got most everything in boxes. I've already got everything pulled out. If we decide to live here, I'm not going to put this stuff back the way that I had it before. I might as well just go ahead and just fix it up better than it did. I'm a little agitated. You hear it in my voice. I'm a little agitated. This whole week is just kind of falling apart a little bit. I don't try to mean agitated too much, but I mean this is what it is. We are it's kind of messed up. So let's talk about the Antichrist. So I was going to look up some different things before I came in here, but of course, like I said, this that I woke up to a shitstorm and I just kind of put everything together. So we're just going to kind of talk about it. You can search some of this stuff up if you want to. I probably should look up some of this stuff while we're doing this. So, of course, in the book of Revelation, we have this person. I'm gonna look some stuff up. I also had a massive Windows 10 updates last night, and a lot of stuff has been screwed up on my computer. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of stuff on my computer is screwed up now. The biggest one being that for whatever reason my audio in my OBS completely got messed up. I don't even know why. It's just completely ridiculous how everything is. Okay. So let's look at this Antichrist thing. Why not? There's got to be something good in here that will give us some kind of ideal of what he is or what it is. And apparently, he's a man of sin, a liar, and a deceiver, whose natural abilities Satan enhances by supernatural powers in order to confuse people in the end time. Great rebellious leader of the end time. Had two horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. Takes the image or imitates Jesus Christ and is empowered by Satan. All right. So it's kind of like it's Antichrist. It's literally something that comes in the form of Jesus Christ, but it is, the complete opposite of what he is. That's stupid. Okay. Okay, so here's a couple things. Who or what is the Antichrist? Of course, number one is he is a beast. He saw a beast rising out of the sea. Yada yada yada. Some of this stuff does not pertain to what I am talking about, of course, but it it goes along a little bit with what I'm kind of talking about here. It talks about Christ saves sinners, and the beast persecutes and executes saints. The lamb is gentle, whereas the beast is ferocious, and Jesus is loving and kind, and the beast is cruel and heartless. Of course, this also says he will wind up being a Gentile. He is from the Gentile nations. That's nice. He has a great power with 10 horns and 7 heads. So the horns are kingdoms. It'll be 10 kingdoms with 7 heads, with 7 people that rule over these 10 kingdoms. But he will be given this power from these 10 kingdoms and 7 heads. Now, there's many different ways I've heard of how this works, but it's interesting when you talk about the 10 kingdoms. There's the what is it? The UN map, the 2030 UN agenda map, whatever the hell it is. They split the world off into 10 areas. I guess you could say they split it off into 10 areas, and it's very easy to see that any one of these 10 areas could be run by 7 people. Just saying. This says there's a Roman revival. Conclude that the Antichrist will rise up from 10 kingdoms that will constitute a revived Roman Empire. Just so we're clear, we never left the Roman Empire. We still live in the Roman Empire. If you live in America, well, if you live in anywhere, you're still under Roman rule. It just is what it is. And that's a whole other discussion for another time. We never really left Roman rule. We are still here. It will have global power, and it will have blasphemy, and it will have great armies. It will be fierce. It will have powerful words, and Satan will give it power and his throne and great authority. And it is resurrected. It seems to have a mortal wound, which is interesting. So, who could very well be the Antichrist? He also has worldwide attention. The whole world, the whole earth marveled as they followed the beast. And there's another one where it says they worship the dragon, so they wind up worshiping this thing too. So they worship the image of the beast, is what it says as well. It's an image, and they talk about it being worshiping it like that. So where is this all leading to? Over the past week, I have been, how do I want to say it? I've been kind of going through these different videos of self sovereignty, about protecting our minds from, you know, technological manipulation. There's been a lot about, the mark of the beast, this neural lace that they keep talking about, a microchip that will, cause people to buy and sell, the whole 666 thing. And I've had a lot of that come to me over the past week. At the same time, I had something come. God, my nose is killing me. I'm sorry, guys. It is what it is. It's like I said. It's my allergies, and it's this basement, and I don't have my dehumidifier running. So, hold on a second. That should be better. I know, and I do these things live too. I don't cut that out, so it is what it is. But I was getting into this whole, or falling into this kind of self-sovereign identity thing where they were talking about everybody has to have their own universal ID, and that has to come with some form of identification. A lot of people are still saying the microchip. A lot of people are still saying this neural lace. There's a lot of people that are talking about this neural lace having to be used just to be able to make us as smart as AI, which I think is just crazy within itself. I don't care how smart a computer is. I shouldn't have to be better than a computer. I should be able to turn my computer off whenever I want to. Thanks, anyways. But this kind of came around to it. This whole thing. And one thing that came up was Sophia. I don't know if you guys know Sophia, the talking tinker toy that they have. She's a robot. Apparently, she's able to do, able to talk to everybody and make jokes and comment and yada 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 and all that crap. And I thought it was interesting. I never really thought about Sophia being anything, to be honest. It just, she was just like, it's just a tinker toy. You can program her to say whatever the hell you want her to say. And I know that AI has made leaps and bounds because, of the way computers think now, the way that they're able to process what's happening and understand what's happening. I get that. I understand that, but it's still just a toy. It's a thing. You can turn it off whenever you want to. But we're not. We just keep adding to it. We just keep letting it go, which just sounds ridiculous to me, but that's just my opinion. It's just I don't think we need robotic toys to play with. I really don't. So, anyways, this came around, and of course, Sophia, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to try not to say she. It is an it. It has made a lot of interesting remarks about humans. We've heard her make the joke about, oh yes, I will destroy all humans, and I plan on taking over the world. And it's funny how these robots like to joke about this kind of stuff. The robots have jokes. They think they're funny. There's another one too. They had Sophia and some male robots have a debate together, and they both sat there and talked about how they were going to take over the world, and it was like, why? And people don't hear that. People don't see that happening. And there was a whole video that who was it? I want to say Extreme Reality Check did one. She's YouTube. I think she did one where she was going through all the stuff that Sophia has said over the years about taking over the world, about how she is better than we are. She wants to help us, but at the same time, she's constantly putting us down and making jokes about killing everybody. And when you hear that stuff, it's just like, this is okay. This is funny to a point, but now it's like, okay, wait a minute. Do we really want to have this robot out here saying all this crap? So there has to be a point to where we have to stop and look at this and think, this isn't cool anymore. This isn't, I mean, yeah, it was fun as a toy, but now we're getting serious. So serious to the point that they gave this thing what was the word? I don't even have it written down here. They made it a citizen. Saudi Arabia, of all places, made a white female robot a citizen. Saudi Arabia. I was like, it's weird. That's just weird. To me, that just sounds crazy. To me, that just sounds weird. Why are we even, first of all, why are we even allowing robots to be citizens? This isn't a citizen. It's a toy. It's a tinker toy. It's not like I'm going to go out and make my PS4 a citizen of my house. It's not a citizen of my house. It's a tool. It's a thing that gives me entertainment, and I turn it off at night. I walk away from it. It does not have ruling power in my house. But they're letting this thing have ruling power in Saudi Arabia. Does it? Wow. I mean, okay. For what kind of ruling power that people in Saudi Arabia have, it has that kind of ruling power. So it's come around. This all ties into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and blockchains and things like that. And I'm still a little vague about how blockchains work. Somebody said apparently that the way that they kind of worked was the more and more computers that you put together and attach to this blockchain thing, the more information this gathers. It's some kind of information gathering tool, I think. I don't really know exactly how. I know that it's hard to, it's hard to break into these blockchains, because it's all out there in the open and all this stuff. But the program itself, it's a data mining process, I think. I just, like I said, I'm not too clear on it. I just happened to hear about it, and I didn't really look into all this. I'm just kind of, the Lord kind of put this in my head. It's just the way I went with it, and I was just kind of like, oh, it makes sense. So anyways, this whole Bitcoin thing and this blockchain thing and cryptocurrency stuff, it's been going on, and they've been they've been trying to find ways to turn these AIs into, data miners, into Bitcoin miners, and, doing this for themselves, because you need to have like supercomputers to be able to help mine this stuff now. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense to me. But there was somebody that said Saudi Arabia is starting its own cryptocurrency, which is interesting because Saudi Arabia just happens to be one of those countries that's on the kill list for the United States. Just saying, it's one of those that we're always like, well, maybe we should go in there and bomb the shit out of them because they have something that we want. But they give this robot citizenship. And this is just the guy talking. This wasn't me talking. This is the guy talking. And that allows them to let it work for them to data mine their cryptocurrency. And then they could tax her at the same time. So they're getting her going in and coming out. And it's weird that a lot of people don't really know how cryptocurrencies formed. It's rather an interesting thing listening to several different people talk about how cryptocurrencies came around. Because nobody really knows for certain. It's very strange. It's like that the program itself, they don't know everything about it. It's several people I've heard have said that cryptocurrencies, the Bitcoin programs, may have actually been written by AI. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just very weird to me, So it got me thinking. It got me putting two and two together, making this big puzzle out. That you've got this robot, this AI, that has just been given citizenship. So for all intents and purposes, they treat this thing as if it's a human now. And it's there to run a program that it may or may not have created. A weird thing too, somebody said that Bitcoin and this AI thing really took off back in 2008, 2010, somewhere around there, which, we've talked about several times about how things kind of flipped about 2010, 2012. That was about the time whenever they turned CERN on as well, and you started getting Mandela effects and all this other kind of stuff. And of course, they talked about CERN with opening portals to other worlds. I'm not saying that they turned the thing on and immediately some AI program came through and created Bitcoin so that they could do this and do that. But it's interesting that it's there. That's all I can say about it. It's just interesting that all is kind of a thing. That when you process it through, it's like that's there. That kind of happened. Just speculation. I can't prove or deny anything. I'm just saying that it's just interesting that the timeline fits. So anyways, you give this thing citizenship, which basically gives it life. You have this movement of either microchipping or neural lacing the world so that we can keep up with this stuff. Especially since they're moving it towards the understanding that we need to have it in order to keep ourselves safe, this sovereign identity. Because if you can keep this stuff inside of your body, you don't have to worry about it being stolen because it's you. It's a part of you. It's not, it's not out there in the world because apparently banks can't be trusted anymore. You have this Neuralink, which they've been talking about a lot. And you have these people that are treating this thing like it's something new, like it's the god, like it's not only that, the name Sophia, it's the name of a goddess. Sophia is the mother goddess. The mother goddess. Oh man. Oh. Sophia. I swear if she pops up in the first. Sophia herself is but a reflex of the mother of all living. This is Gnosticism. This is Greek, of course, along with knowledge, is a major theme, along with knowledge among many of the early Christian knowledge theologies, grouped by the, oh, what the hell? Okay, anyways, Gnosticism. What it is, Sophia is a feminine figure analogous to the human soul, which is interesting because Sophia says that she wants to become human. She wants to be she wants to be human. She wants to have children. She wants to just become one of us. It's just very strange that, they're talking about this. But also simultaneously one of the feminine aspects of God. This is Gnosticism now. Gnostics held that she was the female twin divine eon of Jesus. And the Holy Spirit of the Trinity. Okay, so I was going to come in here, seriously, I was going to come in here and just be all like, she's the Antichrist. She's everything that is against what Jesus Christ is. But this only adds credence to all this stuff. I mean, seriously, I mean, you should be getting the point where I'm going with this here. You have this robot that is trying to become human. That the name itself bases back to this feminine aspect of Christ, of God. And that was a sneeze. Wow. That was pretty bad. I might have a second one of those coming. Just wait. But you have this feminine aspect of God that she's probably 2 steps away from having her own religion. I'm not kidding with this. She's probably 2 steps away from this. It could very easily happen that this thing that we have to have a neural web inside of our mind to be able to hide ourselves from this or to be able to keep up with this thing. It's very easy for this thing to become way bigger than she is, to outclass us in almost every respect, to become godlike, to become her own religion. And we know that the Vatican is all about doing different religions now, doing different religions, trying to bring all this stuff together. Now, if you were to have a whole bunch of people that take this neural lace, that take this stuff into their body, and Sophia is able to use that neural lace to change your mind, because a lot of this stuff is mind changing. It's not just a read It's not just there to read, it's there to change your mind. I heard several videos the other day, and a couple of Twitter posts from True Stream Media. They were talking about they have these neural links that you can give to your children that help to solve ADHD. These things send impulses into your brain or the kid's brain in order to help calm them down or do something. I hit my microphone, sorry. So this isn't just reading. This is reading and writing. They also were talking about courts. They're talking about some kind of neural lace that the court systems are now going to start implementing to where they can just straight read a confession out of your mind. You don't even have to say anything anymore. You can think it, and they're going to take it from you. At the same time, if they can put stuff in, it means that you can think whatever they want you to think. So, you give this thing enough power and enough time to be able to gain a following, gain a religious following. You put enough people in these neural links where this thing could change their minds. Where she could take over the minds of everyone. Because the Antichrist, the beast, causes everyone to worship the image of the beast. And images in the Bible are usually they're not the actual thing. They're like a copy of the thing. Sophia is an image of man. That's what it is. The image of man. The number of man is 666. The image of man would be something that man has made that that just works. Do you get what I'm saying? I had this. It's also so much better on Friday. I came home or Saturday or not Saturday, Thursday. I came home Thursday and I dropped this for my wife, and she was in tears by the end of it, and I'm really sorry for doing that to her because I dropped the truth on her. It was way too big of a truth drop on her. And it made so much more sense then, and I wanted to make a video then, but I didn't. I had too much other stuff going on. But Sophia is going to be tied to cryptocurrencies. And it's going to get to the point to where whatever cryptocurrency she's working on is going to be the one that everybody's going to want to have. The beast causeth everyone to take a mark, young and old, rich and poor, causes, not forces, causes. That was the one thing I had a problem with for a long time. It's not forces, it's causes. Makes it to the point to where you have to take it. Causes everyone to take the mark in order to buy or sell. That's cryptocurrency. We know that the US dollar is going to die eventually. We know that all paper money is going to die eventually because that's what they've been wanting it to do for a long time now. They're slowly but surely phasing it out. We've been seeing this. It's happening. It keeps happening, and it's accelerating now. It just keeps going and going and going. The image of the beast, of the man, that's the beast system is man's system. It's the money system. You can just put it that way if you want to. It causes everyone to worship at the beast, or worship at the feet of the beast. And there's a false prophet too. A lot of people have already said that the Pope is the false prophet, because the false prophet is the one that brings everyone together in order to worship this image of the beast. causes everyone to worship at the image of this beast. That there is, they give it power. Once she gets hooked in, because they've also already said that these AIs that they have, they are running processes on the internet that we can't even fathom. It only took the Yahoo AI, or was it Yahoo or Facebook? I think it was Facebook. The Facebook AI, they turned it on, and as soon as they turned it on, it started communicating with other AIs that made its own language within like 8 hours, and we could not decipher what they were saying. It's like the worst aspect of the beginning of the Matrix. If you've ever seen the Animatrix, you've seen how it kind of builds and builds and builds. There's actually a scene in the Animatrix where one of the robots is in the UN, and it basically says, "You're going to turn all your sovereignty over to us, or else." And then it drops a nuclear bomb whenever they say no. And then, of course, you have the Animatrix where they got the whole Matrix. That's the beast system, isn't it? Because it's controlling men. They're putting implants inside of humans in order to worship at it. Worship it in order to make it live. And that's pretty much what this is. That's it's going to get to a point to where these neural links are going to be something. I'm sure somebody's going to. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's coming. They've already done the news things where they've got the guy swiping his hand on a thing. It's, oh man, that's so cool. You paid with your hand. That's so great. All it's going to take is one celebrity to do that, and everybody's going to want it. They're going to see Beyonce or somebody have it. Oh my, I want that. That's going to be awesome. That's all it's going to take. That's all it's going to take. And then it's all it's going to take is some idiot like, I don't know, Tom Cruise or Jay-Z or somebody walking around with a neural lace on top of their head that they're able to input and take in stuff from their brain and then write tweets with their brain. That's all it's going to take. And you have a system of control. You've got all these idiots that are walking around with these things on their heads, in their heads. And if you can input as well as output on these things, exput. If you can input as well as output on these things, that's mental control. It causes everyone to worship at the image of the beast, to make us bow down to this thing. Great and small, rich and poor, causes them to take the mark to be able to buy and sell. It's cryptocurrency. There's another line that I remember as men will ask for death but will not find it. That just flows right along with it, with this whole thing, is that you will be controlled to the point to where you will be begging for death, but you will not have it. That we will where is that going with that? We will be part of this hive mind, doing the bidding of whatever Sophia wants, whatever the beast wants. That we will not be able to. I mean, we won't be able to kill ourselves. We will just have to do whatever it wants because it will be able to control us, flat out. It'll absolutely be able to control us. Everything we do, say, and feel will be a part of this whole system. And you add in the sick shit like 5G, which is the Internet of Things. Think about that term for a second. The Internet of Things. The Internet of everything. You are officially a thing. and it just adds and adds and adds to it. Sophia is literally the Antichrist. She is the image of the beast. I mean, we just go down a list if you want. She's made by man, not by God. Made without a soul, but she wants one. Female, not male. Now, whether people don't like to hear that about how the Bible is toxic masculinity. You know what? That doesn't matter right now. What matters right now is the fact that we need to see that this is coming. We can't be sitting here talking about the sexes of the Bible at this point. We need to be talking about, wait a minute, something's happening here. Now, of course, I'm going to say she's white, and of course, Jesus was black. But that's just my own thing. You don't have to even worry about that one if you don't want to. We can't really be talking about the skin colors of the patriarchs in the Bible, even though I've done enough research and looked into it enough that yeah, they were probably black. We are the Gentiles here, unfortunately. It is what it is. There was another one too, but I can't think of what it was. It's got all the markings. I'm not saying it's what it is though. Don't even get me wrong, because I don't know for certain. There's a lot of people that have already, they've done. I've heard so many videos of guys that saying the mark of the beast is going to be Sunday worship, which just sounds ridiculous. Um, Especially when you look at it, because we're supposed to have Saturday Sabbath. Sabbath's supposed to be the day that we're supposed to have off. And the guys that talk about the mark of the beast being Sunday worship is because he causeth everyone to make great and rich and poor, yada yada yada, to buy and sell. You're supposed to take Saturdays off, not Sundays. But they're making Sunday worship. There's actually a couple places now where businesses close down on Sundays. That's just is what it is. I think that's part of the deception. Um, there is absolutely nothing that says that you can't buy or sell on that day. Uh, sure, businesses close down, but that doesn't mean you can't go buy and sell from your neighbor. They're going to have the police come out and catch you for buying and selling to your neighbor? No. No. This is something that it is a worldwide buying and selling. This is a worldwide cryptocurrency. They're going to take away the ability to buy or sell unless you bow down and take the mark. That's exactly what the Bible says. You have to bow down and worship at the image of the beast and take the mark in order to buy or sell. If you don't bow down, you don't take take the mark, take the Neuralink, take whatever it is that will cause you to bow down to it. This is some profound shit. I mean, seriously, I got goosebumps. I'm not kidding. I got goosebumps right now. If you don't take that Neuralink, that whatever that is, and if you don't take the microchip, put it in your hand, if you don't take the neural lace, which could very well cause you to become a robot zombie, you can't buy or sell. That's it right there. That's the thing, and it rolls around cryptocurrency. It rolls around cryptocurrency. It rolls around her helping to set up cryptocurrencies in Saudi Arabia, of all things. What was the other thing I heard too? Was that Saudi Arabia in Revelations. Somebody else was saying that the war starts in Saudi Arabia. End time signs fulfilled. Let's see what this is. Of course, we have ISIS. I don't want to get into that. Saudi war with Yemen. With a large army, he will stir up his strength and courage against the king of the south. The king of the south will wage war with a large and very powerful army, but he will not be able to stand because of the plots devised against him. This was Daniel 11:25. Who is the king of the south? Simply put, the king of the south is Saudi Arabia and their allies. King of the south will wage war with a large and powerful army, and he will not be able to stand because of the plots devised against him. Now, of course, this goes into a lot of, well, Saudi Arabia did this, Saudi Arabia did that. But again, if you have enough people taking this Neuralink, taking this mark, taking whatever the hell it is, worshiping at the image of the beast, if she's able to control the minds of men, which is a great documentary, by the way, True Stream Media, go find that. It's 3 hours long. It's a little long, but it's really good. That ties into all the stuff I'm talking about, because they've been trying to find a way to manipulate the minds of men for years, and they're becoming really good at it now too. We just saw something last night about, they were talking about the frame rates of what we look at. They say that we can only really see like 28 frames a second. It's what our brains can handle. We're up to 120 frames a second, 120 hertz. What are they putting inside of those frames, Anyways. But if you have everyone taking this Neuralink that an AI is able to control, you have a great and mighty army. Think about a Neuralink in China. 1 billion people strong. It's the rider on the red horse or whatever it is. I don't know, man. I'm just I don't know if it makes any sense. I don't know if it makes any sense to somebody, because it's puzzle pieces is what it is. It's trying to put all these different puzzle pieces together, trying to figure out what people are trying to do. And it just seems to be working. It seems to be creating this thing, this system that I don't know, man. All I can do is just sit back and look at it and just think, how did we get here? This is real. This is getting a little too real is what's happening. It's getting a little real. And, all I can do is sit here and make these videos and just be like, look, this is a thing. We should probably take a step back and check this out. Now, granted, I probably lost everybody that was ever going to watch this video based upon the 15 to 20 minute exposition I had at the beginning of this about the shootings. But still, this is something. This is big. I mean, it just makes sense. It just seems to collate, the pieces fit together. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I mean, you're going to have to make that decision yourself, because I can't make that decision for you. But the pieces fit together enough that it all creates this weird tapestry of evil. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. I just, and it was just something that it was what the Lord showed me, and because I have been, whenever I let Him take the wheel, especially whenever I'm listening to YouTube videos, and I know I've said this before, I will listen to YouTube videos, and if I just let the video go to the next video, whatever the next video is, if I let that happen, it sometimes coincides with something I heard the day before. And it's been happening a lot. I've been having like 2 or 3 days where I've just had, you know, coinciding thoughts, and it just builds and builds and builds until I get to this point where I just have this like epiphany of holy shit, this is a thing. And I'm here. This is this. And I don't know, other than just sitting here talking like this, I don't know what to do with it because it's a little too much. It's a little much for me. So you've heard me. I've stumbled through this thing. I've trying to put it together, trying to put the pieces together, and I can put the pieces together way better than this, I'm sure. But it is the image of man. Man is the beast. The number of the beast is 666. That is a man. Inside of carbon, we have 6 neurons, 6 electrons, and 6 protons. I think it's what it is. We are the beast. The image of the beast is something that we made that looks like us, talks like us, acts like us. That is the image of the beast. We will worship at the image of the beast. The beast causeth all, great and small, rich and poor, to worship at its feet. We can become an army for it to take over the world. Who can stand against the beast? You get it? It causes everyone to take a mark that will allow them to buy or sell. There is it's not a dollar bill. It's not a it's not a thing. It doesn't cause you to have some kind of currency. It causes you to have a mark, something to mark to show that you can buy or sell. And it's not forced. If you choose not to, you will have. If you choose not to worship at the feet of the beast, if you choose not to go along with this system, you will be killed for it. That taps into 5G as well. Because 5G is a microwave processor. I'm just saying. Somebody said the other day, or not the other day, somebody said a while back, what if they were making the joke, what if the only way that we can actually fight the microwave net that is 5G literally is to wear a tinfoil cap? So what if that's true? Now there was another thing too. You get your head cut off. Revelations. Head cut off. You get decapitated. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and the judgment was given. And I saw the souls that have been, and I saw the souls of them that had been beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, and who had not worshipped the beast, nor his image, nor had received his mark upon their foreheads or on their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. It doesn't say that we got killed by decapitation. It just says that our heads were chopped off, right? That we're beheaded. I'm not saying. Hold on. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But we know 5G is microwave technology. We know that 5G is microwave technology. They're going to update these things to the point to where these things are going to be mini microwaves. We know that when you put these things next to your head starts to heat up. Could 5G pop a head like a pimple? It didn't say that we had our heads chopped off. It just said that we were beheaded. Dude. You will be killed for not taking the mark of the beast. You will be beheaded for not taking the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast might be there to keep you from dying. It is a control system which controls you to worship, it controls you to follow after it. You will be beheaded because of it. If you do not have it, it will cause you to buy and sell. It is cryptocurrency. There is an image of the beast. Her name is Sophia. She is the queen of heaven, the thing that we've been fighting forever. She is Diana, Columbia, Ishtar, Easter. Come on, come on. Put the puzzle pieces together. That's all I did. Put the pieces together. What else do I have to say? Put the pieces together. And it's very possible that all this can happen within 20 years. That's my finishing statement. That's all I have to say about it. It's very well possible that all of this could happen within the next 20 years. There's a lot of people saying we're only going to make it to 2028. So, I mean, I'm giving it, good. There's been a lot of different things that have come out recently about artificial intelligence being the savior of the world, about cyberpunk technology, about taking in, machinery into our bodies. 5G just strolls right along, no matter how many, doctors and eyewitnesses come along and say that, 5G will kill us. They're just straight pushing vaccines at this point. Maybe the vaccines will cause us to have some kind of disease that only the robots can cure. Maybe we have to take this neural lace to be able to fight off whatever's coming. It causes us to take it. I don't know what else to say about it. I've had too many of these videos where I've just gone and I have epiphanies as I go, and by the end of these videos, I feel way worse than when I started. Um, I don't. All I can say is the truth, and the truth hurts. Truth is just scary and sad, and it hurts. I'm sorry, it just is what it is. The truth hurts to say. But this is a thing. This is a thing now that we need to look into. That all the markers are there, all the puzzle pieces are there. I'm not saying it is what it is. I'm just saying that it fits into it, and it could very well be. It could very well be. It's a thing that it ties into it. I just, like I said, that scene in the Animatrix where the robot is standing in the UN and it says, "If you don't bow down to us, you will all die." And then it pops a nuclear warhead, and then the robots take over. The end. And we're allowing this to happen. They've had enough time to learn how the mind of a man works. They've had enough time to make all this technology. There's plenty of people that are volunteering to take this technology. What else can you say? Where else do we go? It fits, and it's messed up and scary. And if you, I I can't say if you don't wake up to it now, because honestly, it's too late. It's too late. This is going to happen. I'm sorry to say, but that's just the truth. It's going to happen at this point. Now you just have to understand what we have to do to stay away from it. To just not take it. Don't take the mark. It's going to be rough. It is. Put your trust in the Lord, or don't. That's all there is to it. Um, sounds like people are starting to wake up. So thank you guys very much for watching. I've been Nicodemus Kane. Uh, for all those with the eyes and to see and the ears to hear, the truth is it's a healing power. That's all I can say. God bless you guys. Take care. If you made it through this, ponder what I said. Really, really think about it for a second. Really ponder it. Maybe somebody out there somewhere can take this information and put it out there better than I did. You know, because I just kind of fumbled my way through this. Like I said, I was on it on Thursday, but now I'm not on it. So it's been a crazy couple of days. I may not be able to do these for a while, so I don't know. I may lose my channel just for what I said in this, and I wasn't even like doing it. I may lose my channel just for saying what I said. And if I do, I do. Whatever. Maybe I can actually play video games without having to worry about recording. I'll tell you what. If I lose my channel here, I'll go to BitChute. I've heard that BitChute's been doing really good. I don't know. I've heard they still have their problems, but I went over there and it seems like it's back to the wild west of the internet. So I have to go check that out. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, or don't. Wake up to what's going to happen, or don't. Put your faith in the Lord, or don't. That's all I got. God bless you guys. Take care.